The Terra Luna Classic burn is heating up. Let's go through the recent burn news. Make sure you stay till the end. That way you can hear how we can actually reduce the Terra Luna Classic supply without having to burn down 99% of our supply. Today, Terra Luna Classic is down about 1.5%. We are getting closer to the $700 million market cap as our price continues to fall. And we are seeing Terra Luna Classic has just been having a rough time the past couple months. As you can see, we've been on a declining trend. However, there's still hope for us to turn this around and go back towards the highs that we saw back in September, where we had our price peak about 6x from where we are right now. And the main way for the Terra Luna Classic price to actually spike up like that is going to be involving the Terra Luna Classic burn. You can see right now, total Terra Luna Classic burn coming in at just shy of 51 billion Terra Luna Classic. Our current average burn rate sitting at about 171 million Terra Luna Classic every single day. And you can see that our Terra Luna Classic burns, we've been moving up nicely since the last Binance burn. And we're expecting to see another major Binance burn here very soon. By the way, if you're excited about the Binance burn, make sure you subscribe down below. I'll have the update as soon as the Binance burn comes out, and you don't want to miss that. As you can see, the Binance burn period of calculation is ending here today, and we should actually receive the burn numbers in the next 3 days. So it's very exciting. We should be getting this information very soon. The Binance burn most likely will actually go through either tomorrow or the following day. So it is around the corner for us to see a Binance burn that could be pretty significant. Now remember, this previous Binance burn that you can see right here, this was for 3 months worth of Binance burning. So in reality, we might see basically the equivalent of like around there in the next Binance burn, which is still going to be roughly a few billion Terra Luna Classic if all things pan out correctly. You can see the past couple days, the average decrease in Terra Luna Classic total supply is probably around 50 million. And we did have a day where we had 500 million Terra Luna Classic actually being burned. So we've been making nice progress there. However, you're probably going to notice this green candle when we look at the total USTC supply. And I just want to address this really quick. This is something that was causing a lot of fear the other day. This is not coming necessarily from a new minting function. A lot of that has been disabled. This is from a cross swap function that's a little bit complex, but it's basically swapping USTC into some other currencies. And that balance has still been reserved so people can swap back and forth and make a change in the total supply accordingly. So from my understanding, this is not something to totally panic about. This is not something that'll probably happen very frequently, and it's something that is to be expected. So don't worry about this happening. We do have the option to shut this down if you want to stop it entirely, but it's not the end of the world that we see a green candle with the total USDC supply actually going up. And when we take a look at the Terra Luna Classic top burners, you can see the top burners list remains relatively unchanged. We are seeing Cremation Coin continue to go up, getting closer to 300 million total Terra Luna Classic burn. When we see the feed of live Terra Luna Classic burns coming in, you can see some of this Terra Luna Classic burn is heating up. Terra Casino keeps burning about 1 million Terra Luna Classic. Cremation came in with an 18 million Terra Luna Classic burn. Then we have some other things like Lunar Station 88 came in with a 10 million Terra Luna Classic burn. LUNC DAO about 1.5 million. So we are getting different entities, different people that are currently burning Terra Luna Classic. However, that's over the past couple days, we're seeing a handful of it, right? Obviously, we want to have more and more Terra Luna Classic burns. That's going to come down to having more utilities in our ecosystem that can continue burning down the Terra Luna Classic supply and supporting the mission of the Terra Luna Classic burn. Now, how can we reduce the circulating supply without having to burn down Terra Luna Classic? Well, that comes down to one simple thing, which is staking. Now, you can see our staking. We're getting close to 1 trillion Terra Luna Classic staked, which will be a massive milestone for our ecosystem. You can see we're continuing to move towards that milestone presently right now. Now, if you're unaware, the way that the formula is actually calculated for circulating supply is total supply minus the amount staked minus the amount in the community pool, and that's basically how you get this circulating supply. And so if we can actually have more Terra Luna Classic staked, we can reduce that circulating supply, because burning, that reduces the total supply, but circulating supply factors in how much Terra Luna Classic is staked, which is why you see that roughly 1 trillion Terra Luna Classic difference right here. It's because it's factoring in for the staked Terra Luna Classic plus community pool plus Oracle pool. So we are making a nice movement downwards on that amount as we continue to have more Terra Luna Classic stakes, which is why it's so important to make sure you guys go out there and stake with validators, because you can earn rewards while helping the Terra Luna Classic ecosystem, making it easier for us to potentially pump. And so if you still believe in the future potential of Terra Luna Classic, make sure you guys check out this video up here to see what we can accomplish.